Though I failed to give y'all a review of this last year, I had completely forgotten about this film for its anniversary last year. But I'm gonna make up for lost time and give this to you a year after its anniversary. So get ready to look for the bare necessities of life. Get with the beef, folks. Here's my review of Disney's animated classic of The Jungle Book. Bad Days, Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doal, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1967 musical comedy flick, which is anime, of course, The Jungle Book, released by Disney under Buena Vista Distribution. Based very loosely on Rudyard Kipling's 1894 book of the same name, it was the final animated feature film to be produced by Disney, who died during the film's production. The film was released on October 18th, 1967, which of course I was late for its review because I couldn't get in there because I had other flicks for last year's Spooktacular October. Yeah. The film was directed by Wolfgang Reitherman, ran by Larry Clemens, Ralph Wright, Ken Anderson, and Vance Jerry. It features an all-star cast of voice actors, including Phil Harris, Sebastian Cabot, Louis Prima, George Sanders, Sterling Holloway, J. Pat O'Malley, and Wolfgang's own son, Bruce Reitherman. The film's plot follows a feral child named Mowgli, raised in the Indian jungle by wolves as his friends. Bagheera the Panther, and, well, until he has to try to take him to a man village because Shere Khan had arrived. But he would meet others, including Baloo the Bear and others. Anyway, now the early versions of both the screenplay and soundtrack followed Kipling's work more closely with a dramatic, dark, and sinister tone, which Disney didn't want in his family film, leading to writer Bill Peet and songwriter Terry Gilkyson being replaced. So, when it got released, it received critical acclaim for its soundtrack, done by the Sherman Brothers, who had recently worked on tunes for some other Disney films, most notably Mary Poppins, and five were written by the Sherman Brothers, one by Gilkyson, which was The Bare Necessities, which was probably the most popular of all the songs. Anyway, it did pretty well. It became Disney's second highest grossing animated film in the US and Canada, and the ninth highest grossing film of '67, and was also successful during its re-releases. Well, let's get into the story. Well, we start out with Bagheera's narration. Many stories are told of these jungles of India, but none so strange than the story of a small boy named Mowgli. Yes, Mowgli, a young orphan boy, is found in a basket in the deep jungles of India by Bagheera, a black panther, who promptly takes him to Raksha, a mother wolf who has just had cubs, and her mate, Rama, raise him along with their own cubs. And after 10 years, Mowgli becomes well acquainted with jungle life and plays with his wolf siblings. Bagheera is pleased with how happy Mowgli is now, but also worries that Mowgli must eventually return to his own kind. One night, the wolf pack parents meet at Council Rock, having learned that Shere Khan, a Bengal tiger, has returned to the pack's part of the jungle. Akela, the leader of the pack, decides that Mowgli must leave the jungle for his own safety and the safety of those around him. Shere Khan possesses an intense hatred of humans due to his fear of guns and fire. Bagheera volunteers to escort him to a man village. They leave that very night, but Mowgli is determined to stay in the jungle. He and Bagheera rest in a tree for the night, where Kaa, a hungry Indian python, hypnotizes Mowgli into a deep sleep and tries to devour him, but Bagheera intervenes. The next morning, Mowgli tries to join the Elephant Patrol led by Colonel Hai and his wife Winifred. Bagheera finds Mowgli, but after a fight, decides to leave Mowgli on his own. He soon meets up with a laid-back, fun-loving sloth bear named Baloo, who promises to raise Mowgli himself and never take him to the man village. Shortly afterward, a group of monkeys kidnap Mowgli and take him to their leader, King Louie the orangutan, who offers to help Mowgli stay in the jungle in exchange for teaching him how to make fire, or as he calls it, man's red flower. However, since he was not raised by humans, Mowgli doesn't know how to make fire. So Bagheera and Baloo arrive to rescue him, and in the ensuing chaos, Louie's palace is demolished to rubble. Bagheera speaks to Baloo that night and convinces him that the jungle will never be safe for Mowgli with Shere Khan around. In the morning, Baloo reluctantly explains to Mowgli that the man village is best for him, but Mowgli accuses him of breaking his promise and runs away. As Baloo sets off in search of Mowgli, Bagheera rallies the help of Hai and his patrol. However, Shere Khan, who was eavesdropping on Bagheera and Hati's conversation, is now determined to hunt and kill Mowgli. Meanwhile, Mowgli has another encounter with Kaa, who once again attempts to eat him after hypnotizing him into a deep sleep, but he eventually wakes up and escapes thanks to the unwitting intervention of the suspicious Shere Khan. Well, I am going to go ahead and go to the ending now. You know this procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. As I count down, if you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. As a storm gathers in a desolate area of the jungle, a depressed Mowgli encounters a group of friendly vultures who accept Mowgli as a fellow outcast. But Shere Khan appears shortly after, scaring off the vultures and confronting Mowgli. Baloo arrives and haplessly tries to keep the tiger from getting the boy, getting knocked unconscious in the process. When lightning strikes a nearby tree and sets it ablaze, the vultures swoop in to distract Shere Khan, while Mowgli grabs a large flaming branch and ties it to the tiger's tail. Shere Khan, seeing this, panics and runs away. Afterward, Bagheera and Baloo take Mowgli to the edge of the man village, but Mowgli is still hesitant to go there. However, his mind abruptly changes when he is smitten by a beautiful young girl from the village who is coming down by the riverside to fetch water. After noticing Mowgli, she accidentally drops her water pot. Mowgli retrieves it for her and follows her into the man village. After Mowgli shrugs to Baloo and Bagheera to show that he has made up his mind and chosen to go to the man village, Baloo and Bagheera decide to head home, content that Mowgli is safe and happy with his own kind. Yeah, man. End of story. I just read it for fun. So, what did I think of the Jungle Book? I'm going to say I like it. It's still one of the greats and what have you. I did have this on video cassette, but unfortunately it was never brought back to me. And for years I wanted to revisit this film. I did once I got Disney Plus. I did see it on Freeform one time. So anyway, I am going to say I really did enjoy this for what it had to offer. Now then, the film did pretty well when it was released. Now, when it was released in October, just 10 months after Walt Disney's death, the film was produced on a budget of $4 million, and the film was a massive success, grossing domestic rentals of $11.5 million by '68, the following year. And then it continued on throughout more and what have you. It had been re-released in the U.S. in North America in '78, '84, and '90. So it has been re-released numerous times, even internationally. It's done well on video cassette as well as DVD and Blu-ray and many others. It received positive reviews upon its release, undoubtedly influenced by a nostalgic reaction to the death of Walt Disney. Time magazine noted the film strayed far from the Kipling stories, but nevertheless, the result is thoroughly delightful. It is the happiest possible way to remember Disney. The New York Times praised the film as simple, uncluttered, straightforward fun as put together by the director, Wolfgang Reitherman. Four screenwriters and the usual small army of technicians, using some lovely exotic pastel backgrounds and a nice clutch of tunes, the picture unfolds like an intelligent comic strip fairy tale. Life magazine referred to it as the best thing of its kind since Dumbo. Another short, bright, unscary, and blessed, uncultivated cartoon. The LA Times wrote the film was really, really good Disney indeed, and nobody needs to say a great deal more. Anyway, and it was just so incredible and what have you. The song The Bare Necessities, which Phil Harris as Baloo sung, was nominated for Best Original Song at the Academy Awards. Unfortunately, it lost to Talk to the Animals from Dr. Dolittle, which also was released the same year. But nevertheless, they're both good songs. Retrospective reviews were also positive, with the film's animation, characters, and music receiving much praise throughout the years. The film currently sits at 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying with expressive animation, fun characters, and catchy songs, the film endures as a crowd-pleasing Disney classic. Definitely. And there's just so many others and what have you. But anywho, I am really, really good, well, with this film. It is definitely good and very fun. After its release, it continued on to get tons of other things. Now, there was numerous things, including books and read-along books through Disneyland. They actually released a special one called More Jungle Book, which was an unofficial sequel. And in 2003, there would be a direct sequel called The Jungle Book 2, which that film didn't do too well and what have you, but I still have a little bit of a soft spot for it and what have you. There was to be a third one, but it never materialized. There have been numerous other takes on The Jungle Book, even from Disney. In 2016, Jon Favreau directed a live-action CGI hybrid remake, which I didn't feel too thrilled with at first, but when I gave it a chance, it was not too bad. I will review that one later on in the future. But anyway, the animation was really good, and the story was really, really good. Now then, the score from that was composed by George Bruns was really good as well. I think it was just so incredible. And Walter Sheets orchestrated the score. Now then. Now, aside from some of the songs, there's aside from the bare necessities, the songs that the Sherman Brothers wrote were Trust in Me, Colonel High's March, I Want to Be Like You, and let's see, there's My Own Home, which I know that I believe that's heard in the Man Village scene, and That's What Friends Are For, the Vulture song. So anyway, so you know the songs are pretty good and what have you. They're all good. Now, as for our voice acting cast, we have Phil Harris as the voice of Baloo. I think he does a great job. Harris would also go on to voice Lil Jon in Robin Hood, and also Thomas O'Malley in the Aristocats. Voicing Bagheera the Panther is Sebastian Cabot, who was already well known for playing Mr. French on TV's Family Affair at the time. Voicing King Louie is Louis Prima, jazz singer and what have you. Voicing Shere Khan is George Sanders. Bill Lee provided his singing voice, while Jimmy McDonald provided the roars. Cobb the Snake is voiced by Sterling Holloway, who, of course, was well known for voicing Winnie the Pooh for the studio. And he also voiced Roquefort the Mouse in the Aristocats, and he's voiced several other characters in Disney tunes. Next, voicing Colonel Hottie is J. Pal Malley, who also voiced Buzzy, the leader of the Vultures. And Mowgli is voiced by Wolfgang Reitherman's own son, Bruce, who would also voice Christopher Robin in the Winnie the Pooh features for Disney. Let's see, we also have others and what have you, including Verna Felton voicing Winifred. Let's see, and then there's even, you better believe me, you are going to hear this correctly, a young Clint Howard voiced Hottie Jr. Yes, you heard me correctly. I believe you know who Clint Howard is. I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, as for the rest of for the Vultures, a couple of them, we have Chad Stewart, who is part of the duo Chad and Jeremy, voices Flaps, and Lord Tim Hudson is the voice of Dizzy, excuse me, and Digby Wolf voiced Ziggy, the fourth member of the Vultures. Let's see. John Abbott voices Aquila, and Ben Wright, who also would lend his voice to some Disney tunes. The only other film I know him from was The Little Mermaid, his last film, where he voiced Grimsby. He voiced Rama, and Darlene Carr voices the girl, who we don't know her name yet, not until Jungle Book 2, where it was Shandy. Shandy was her name. But anyway, so the voice acting cast was good too. So anyway, The Jungle Book is such an amazing film, and would I recommend it? I would say yes, go for it. You'll love it. If you've already seen the live action film from 2016 and you haven't seen this one, shame. See this. The film's available on Disney Plus, so check it out. So what did you think of The Jungle Book from 1967? Let me know in the comment section below. If you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of the second installment of the Hobbit trilogy, and that will be The Desolation of Smaug. So I do hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, check out my reviews for these other Disney old school flicks. In the upper left hand corner is my review of the Aristocats. The upper right hand corner is my review of Robin Hood. Or if you'd like, go to the bottom left hand corner and see my review for one of the earlier Disney animated features, and that would be Pinocchio, which I did last year. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya!